Right. I had biosecurity and protecting the borders, and I won't do the breadth of the discussion that was had in that room anywhere near justice, but I'll do what I can. And I'm going to start with the first thing, that the challenge was that the UK doesn't have a great reputation or a great ability with biosecurity across the board. To the point, as it said, it was horrific at one point. I'm not going to just stand there and say agree with that one totally, but we still have some very serious challenges. And part of that is the structure of the industry as well. As we're moving animals around from place to place all over the shop. So it makes life very difficult for understanding or for managing biosecurity risks across farms as animals move there. So you don't know what your neighbour's got, you don't know where this animal's been, all those types of issues. So we need to create a trading environment and a structure that allows that to happen as best we can, and that's partly having the databases so you understand what the animal's risk is likely to be, and that's partly encouraging stratification as much as possible to reduce that amount of movement, reduce the amount of exposures that that animal has anyway. From there, so we need that legislation, but we also need to make sure that farmers and vets and those have the education, have the understanding that it's there. And the view was that we should be using this biosecurity issues across the board in terms of BVD as a culture change to try and, because it had so much more additive value than just that particular disease. We could use it to make culture change across a whole bunch of diseases. By no means was that the entirety and totally accepted views, because there's nothing I'm summarizing that had 100% backing, but that was kind of the trend, the thrust of the arguments and the discussions. So we needed peer pressure to put that in. We needed training. We needed exemplars from the vets as well, so that they were producing the best that they could be. So they were seen to be driving as clean and as biosecure as they possibly could be as well. And I think, I'll speak to back there. He says there. There was discussion about how the messaging was in terms of what you could do, because there was a feeling that vets and farmers felt that there was only sort of an all or nothing thing, and that was certainly one of the views that was put in there, so I'll put it out there. But a lot of the views were that farmers should be encouraged to do what they can, pick off the big risks and allow them to make sure to make the best decisions, and then if they got the smaller risks, they could get those in as well. That was absolutely fine, and get that, and that could do everything from sort of where you're buying animals, and that's understanding what the database and linking back to that. So there was indications that farmers are still not using that data as well as they could be. They're still buying on the trust of the farmer that they're buying from, rather than in checking the data. So there's an education perspective across all of these themes from there, and I think that more or less covers the main points that we were given through the evening, but I'm sure I've missed something, so if anyone has something to say that really to add to that, please do.